As you're getting older, do you feel like your body has just stopped responding? You're eating healthy, moving more, but nothing's changing. I've been there too. I want to share what finally helped me break through. Hey, I'm Misha, a Midlife Reset Coach, and I help moms reset in midlife so they can feel strong, confident, and full of energy to create and live the best chapter of their lives yet. If you're ready for a full midlife reset, I've put together a free guide that walks you through 9 key areas to help you feel your best again. You can grab it below in the description. For a month, I felt stuck, bloated, frustrated, and watching the scale stay the same no matter what I did. I was eating clean, working out, even fasting, but nothing seemed to work. If you're in that same place right now, stick with me. I'm going to walk you through 7 simple but often overlooked shifts that finally helped me break through. And especially the last one. It made all the difference. So, here is the moment it all clicked for me. I remember standing in front of the mirror thinking, is this just how midlife is supposed to feel now? Sluggish, puffy, out of sync with my own body. It was like my body had changed the rules without telling me. And nothing I used to do seemed to work anymore. Now, just to be clear, I'm not going to go into the basics here. We're not talking about foundational stuff like drinking more water, getting your steps in, or eating whole foods. I know you are most probably already doing all of these things, right? These tips I'm about to share. Therefore, when you feel like you are doing everything right and still the scale won't budge, they're often overlooked tweaks that made all the biggest difference once I had the foundations in place. And they can make all the difference for you too. Because it turns out my body wasn't broken and it was just speaking a new language. And once I learned how to listen differently, everything started to shift. And that is exactly what you can experience too. So here is what actually worked. So the first thing I have done, and the first tip for you, so I started extending my fasts. So I was already fasting, and if you're already fasting but not seeing the scale move, yeah, that was definitely me too. I was doing a solid 16-8, so basically eating for 8 hours, fasting for 16 hours, and that was basically, I was doing that every day, feeling very proud, but my weight completely stuck. That's when I learned about fasting adaptation. Basically, your body gets efficient at what you repeat, so over time, that same 16-hour fast just isn't challenging enough to trigger fat loss anymore. So instead of pushing harder, I got strategic. I started gently stretching my fasting window, trying 18 hours and then 20. And eventually, I worked up to occasional 24-hour fast when it felt right. And let me tell you, it was a total game changer. If you want a bit more gentle reset, try 24-hour green juice fast, or you can also incorporate soups into your fast. Just make sure they are low sugar soups or juices, and it is easy on digestion but still powerful enough to kick your body into fat burning mode. The reason why this works, after you burn through stored glucose, your body finally dips into fat stores for energy. And for women in midlife where insulin resistance is more common, this shift can seriously move the needle. If you're fasting but feel stuck, don't give up, just shift your approach. You might be closer to results than you actually think you are. Tip number 2, mix things up. And that was because my body got bored. Okay, have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, eating well, working out, maybe even fasting consistently, but nothing's happening? The scales stack, your clothes fit the same, and honestly, it feels like your body is just ignoring your efforts, right? I was right there. I'd found a routine that seemed healthy, same meal, same fasting window, same workouts, but eventually my body just got bored. It got too good at handling what I was doing. And when that happens, your metabolism stops working as hard. You hit plateau. So, here is what I discovered and what made a huge difference for me. I started mixing things up. Nothing drastic, but enough to shake my body out of autopilot, and that was very important. First, I varied my fasting, and this is a bit similar to the first point, but actually very different. I will get to it. Some days I would be doing 16-8, other days 18-6, and occasionally I would do 24-hour fast, as I mentioned previously. So I wouldn't be doing just long fast or just short fast. I would be basically varying my fast, just enough variety to keep my metabolism guessing and flexible. That is important. Let your metabolism guessing, and that's what makes your metabolism flexible. I also added a carb refeed day. If you've been low carb for a while, like I had, bringing in moderate carb day once a week can really help reset your fat burning hormones like leptin. And that is very important. It's like giving your body a little nudge to remind it what it's supposed to be doing. Then I switched up my workouts. I added more strength training, less cardio. Some weeks I would throw in a bit of HIIT, high intensity training. And just as importantly, I gave myself full rest days when I needed them. That recovery piece, it matters more than we think. I also played around with my meals, sometimes starting with protein-rich breakfast, sometimes finishing the day earlier with light dinner. And actually sometimes, if I was fasting and eating just for 4 hours, I would not have dinner at all. I noticed my energy responded differently depending on what and when I ate. And here is why this strategy works. Your midlife metabolism needs variety. It doesn't thrive on repetition. It wants adaptability. That's what we call metabolic flexibility. When your body can shift between burning carbs and fat easily, it becomes way more responsive, and that is very crucial. And that's when fat loss can actually start happening again. Honestly, this was the thing that got me unstuck. I was finally seeing progress again, and it made my whole routine feel less rigid and way more enjoyable. So if you're feeling stuck right now, ask yourself, when was the last time you changed things up? The third tip to break through your weight loss struggles: make lunch your main meal. Yes, I have learned that it's called apparently front loading. Okay, so this one might surprise you because for years I thought dinner had to be the big meal of the day. You get home, unwind, and treat yourself to something hearty, right? But when I learned about something called front loading, it completely shifted how I approach food. Basically, it means making lunch your biggest meal, not dinner. Very simple. And let me tell you, when I started doing this, it felt a little strange at first, and it got me, a little bit of time to get used to it. But wow, did my energy and digestion thank me? Here is the deal. Your body's metabolism and digestion are at their peak in the middle of the day. That's when we're naturally more insulin sensitive and we'll process food more efficiently. So it makes sense to give your body its most substantial fuel when it can actually use it, right? Now, my lunch is packed with stuff like protein, healthy fats, lots of fiber, and veggies. And dinner, much lighter. Sometimes just a piece of grilled chicken with some greens or nourishing soup, nothing heavy. And why does this work? When your body's not trying to digest a big meal late at night, it can actually rest and recover. Plus, you likely sleep better and support overnight fat burning. And trust me, it makes a big difference. Since making lunch my main meal, I've noticed more stable energy through the day and way fewer cravings at night. And honestly, I don't go to bed feeling bloated or overly full anymore. It is such a relief. Tip number 4, re-evaluate the wine. And I know for some of us, this one might be hard. Let's have a real moment here. I love a good glass of wine just as much as the next woman, especially at the end of a long day. It feels like a little reward, right? But I had to take a hard look at what that reward was doing to my results. When I started really looking into how alcohol affects our bodies, especially midlife, it was kind of a wake-up call for me. Even a few glasses of wine a week can impact your hormones, especially cortisol, the stress hormone that loves to store fat around the belly. And if your liver is busy processing alcohol, it's not burning fat, period. Then there is the sleep thing. I thought wine was helping me wind down, but in reality, it was totally wrecking the quality of my sleep. Messing with REM cycles, leaving me groggy, craving sugar, and basically behind the 8 ball the next day. So I decided to take a break, just 6 weeks. And honestly, the difference blew me away. Why? It works. When you cut back on alcohol, your hormones settle down, your metabolism picks up, and your sleep improves. That ripple effect touches everything. More energy, better food choices, less bloat, and even fewer cravings. Perfect. After that break, I didn't feel like I needed wine anymore, and the scale, it finally started to move again. Just something to think about if you're feeling stuck. It might be that glass of wine that you have most of days after work, or even if it's just during the weekend, try to eliminate it. It might make all the difference. Tip number 5, prioritize protein for your first meal. All right, let's talk breakfast. I used to reach for a quick thing, mainly toast, sometimes cereal, something easy, but it never kept me full. And by about 10 a.m., I was already craving snacks or feeling a slam coming on. Then I learned the magic of starting the day with protein, and not just a little, I'm talking at least 30 grams. I know it might sound like a lot, but once I tried it, I could feel the difference. It wasn't just about staying full, it was about steady energy, fewer cravings, and honestly, better mood too. Protein helps stabilize your blood sugar, supports lean muscle, which is crucial as we age, and kicks your metabolism into gear early in the day. And trust me, that the midlife metabolism needs all the love it can get. Some of my go-to protein-packed breakfasts include now scrambled eggs with spinach and avocado, protein smoothies with nut butter and seeds, or Greek yogurt with berries and chia seeds. They're super satisfying and no more energy crashes. Why it works? Getting enough protein in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. It keeps you full, supports muscle, and helps balance those unpredictable midlife hunger signals. When I made this one simple switch, everything else felt much easier. No more mid-morning snacks, attacks, or energy dips. It just helped everything feel more stable and was huge for me. Tip number 6. Yes, you can have dessert. Just time it right. Okay, sweet tooth friends, this one's for you. Because yes, you can still have dessert and reach your goals, your desirable weight goal. You just need to time it right. I used to think dessert had to be off limits, or worse, I would sneak it in the middle of the afternoon and felt really guilty about it later. But once I started saving my sweet treats to enjoy after a balanced meal, everything changed. Here's why. When you eat dessert by itself, especially on an empty stomach, your blood sugar spikes fast, then it crashes. That crash leads to more cravings, more hunger, and a roller coaster of energy. But if you eat something sweet after meal, that's full of protein, fiber, and healthy fats. That protein and fiber act like a buffer, slowing down the sugar absorption. Your blood sugar stays way more stable and you don't get hit with that sugar crash afterwards. So now, if I want a bit of chocolate or a trifle, I'll have it right after lunch or dinner, mostly after lunch, and I feel completely satisfied. No guilt, no roller coaster, no cravings, an hour later, right? Why it works, it's all about blood sugar control. Pairing desserts with protein and fiber keeps your energy steady, your cravings in check, and your progress on track. I still get to enjoy something sweet, just in a way that works with my body, not against it. And that to me feels like real freedom. So definitely try this one. And the last tip to break through plateau: don't underestimate the power of little wins and little setbacks. Let's finish with something that's easy to overlook, those tiny everyday decisions. Like choosing to walk for 10 minutes or even 5 minutes, or drinking a glass of water instead of reaching for a snack, or deciding not to finish the chips just because they're there. These little wins, they matter a lot. For a long time, I didn't think small actions made much difference, but the truth is they build momentum. Each one is like a deposit in your health bank account, and over time they add up to big results. And the same goes for setbacks. That one chocolate bar or skipped workout might not seem like a big deal, but when those choices start stacking up, they can totally derail your progress, especially during midlife when our bodies aren't quite as forgiving, unfortunately. The key is not perfection, it's awareness, right? Noticing those small moments, choosing the supportive option more often than not, and giving yourself grace when things slip. So why it works? Small consistent actions shape your long-term results, and being mindful of both wins and setbacks keeps you grounded and in control. What helped me most? Realizing that every choice counts and that the path to feeling good again isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself in the little moments over and over again. Alright, I hope you found these tips helpful and maybe even had a few light bulb moments along the way. If this resonated with you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with another amazing women who could use a little support on their midlife journey. And hey, if you're ready for a full midlife reset, I've got something just for you. Grab my free midlife reset guide, 9 key areas of change. It's a practical, empowering roadmap to help you take back control of your health, energy, and mindset without the overwhelm. The link is in the description, so be sure to check it out. If you're feeling ready to dive deeper, I'd love to connect with you. You can also book a free discovery call with me. Just scroll down to the description for all the details. You deserve to feel strong, confident, and vibrant in this chapter of life, and I'm here to help you get there. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.